Hey y'all, today is a good day. It's a good day to do some Southern cooking. Now I am no Southern cook. I've been born and raised here in the Midwest. About the closest I come to Southern cooking is reheating my Cracker Barrel leftovers in the microwave. And I'm guessing a bunch of you are gonna say Cracker Barrel isn't Southern cooking, but it's what I know. I thought for the next few Throw It on Thursdays, I try to do some Southern cooking. Today I'm gonna start with cornbread. I'm going to try making cornbread two different ways. Sweet, the way we like it here in Wisconsin, and savory, the way I think a lot of people down south like it. Like just about every southern dish I've investigated, it seems every family has a different way of making it. That's no different with cornbread. I've searched the internet and have found a dozen different ways of making cornbread. I'm going to use the method I found on the cornbread container and just do a couple tweaks to it. So let's head into the kitchen and make some cornbread. I'm going to start by making a basic cornbread recipe and then splitting in two and make half of it sweeter and half of it savory. For the cornbread, I'm going to have flour and of course cornmeal, put a little bit of baking powder in there, some milk, some vegetable oil, a little bit of sugar, and an egg. To bump up the corniness, I'm going to add a little cream style corn. For our sweet variant, I'm going to be bumping up the sugar content and then adding a bit of honey. For the savory version, I'm going to be grating up some cheddar cheese and chopping up a jalapeno. For our basic cornbread recipe, I'm just going to be using the recipe that's on the back of this label. Start by adding flour. This is all-purpose flour. Cornmeal. I'm using white cornmeal. You could use the yellow cornmeal. Now it's time to add sugar. I'm actually going to be adding a little bit less than the recipe calls for because I'd really like one to be really savory and the other one to be really sweet. So I'll add extra sugar to the sweet version. Now the salt. Going to mix up all these dry ingredients real well. Now the wet ingredients, starting with the milk. Vegetable oil. 1 egg. And now for a little extra corn, I'm going to add some creamed sweet corn. Maybe about a half a cup. Going to give this a good mix. I'm going to make my cornbread in cast iron. I have a couple small little cast iron pans here. They're about 6 inches in diameter. I think these are going to work perfect for splitting this batch in two. Start by oiling these up. And I'm going to put these in a 400-degree oven and let these get nice and hot. I'm going to grate up some of this cheddar cheese. Going to make this nice and cheesy. That should be good. I'm going to chop up about half of this jalapeno. Kind of nice small dice. Well, I think I just found a small little bell pepper in my refrigerator. I'm going to chop up a little bit of this and also put that in the cornbread. Time to combine the wet and dry ingredients. Okay, I made a mistake. I forgot to add the baking powder. So we're going to do it now. I'll mix that in there really good. Time to divide this in two. I'll make one half of it sweet, the other half pretty cheesy and spicy. I divided it nice and evenly. So let's make this one sweet. Gonna add a bit more sugar and a good helping of honey. And now for the cheesy, spicy cornbread. Yeah, these are definitely going to be two different types of cornbread. Okay, let's get these in the cast iron skillets. Just took these out of the oven. They're 400 degrees with some hot oil. So I hope I hear a sizzle. I do. This might be overfilling it a bit. I guess we'll see. And now for the sweet stuff. I'm going to pop these in a 400 degree oven for about a half an hour. That's looking done to me. I'm going to let these cool down just a bit before giving them a try. So which one do you think you'd like? The sweet or the savory? Let's see if Patty wants to give these a try.
Hey folks.
Hey, Patty's back. She's willingly going to try this cornbread. I can tell you right now, there's one of these she's not going to like at all. So we're going to get over with that first. I made a sweet version of cornbread. I added some sugar and some extra honey. And then I made a savory version that has some cheese and peppers in it. Patty's not a cheese or a pepper kind of girl. So let's do that one first, okay?
Okay.
So this is just a regular cornbread recipe I got off the container. And I decided to tweak it a bit. A little bit of cheddar cheese, some jalapeno peppers, and a little bit of bell pepper.
Because I like sweet so much, and I like sweet peppers, but it's not my favorite as far as taste for cornbread.
I agree. I am not used to the savory, not sweet version of cornbread. Being raised here in Wisconsin and pretty much just going to Cracker Barrel to get our cornbread. For me, it's okay. I'm actually going to be doing another throw it on Thursday next week where I'm going to make something called soup beans, and we are going to use this cornbread. I think that's going to turn out good. Let's try the sweet stuff.
Yep, that's very good. It's got that sweet flavor. I like butter on mine, but
Well, we do have butter here, so you can throw some on if you'd like. One other thing I did that I kind of varied from that box recipe was I added some creamed corn in here too. So you can actually see a couple kernels of corn in there.
So what does the cream corn do for it?
It just adds a little extra texture, and actually I think it adds a little sweetness to it. Because that creamed corn, I gave it a little taste. It's a bit sweet.
Interesting.
Well, Patty, again, thank you so much for helping me out.
You're welcome.
Like I mentioned before, I don't really cook Southern very much. But I have a few friends that live in the South, and they've given me a couple ideas. Next week, I'm going to try one of those ideas. I'm going to be trying to make something called soup beans. Just like cornbread, it seems like every family has their own variation. I'm going to come up with my own and give it a try. And I think I'm going to use that cheesy, spicy cornbread to serve with those soup beans. Hope that one turns out as good as the cornbread did. As always, I'm having a really good day. I hope whatever you guys are doing, you're also having a good day. See you later.